Yeah. All right. Let's get this show in a row. Now you know we got to talk about this. So, Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers. Man, where do I even begin? Where do I begin? Now, I'm the one that predicted that they were not only come out the West, but they were going to win the NBA championship. Listen, they're down 0-2. They're down 0-2. They lost their first 2 games at home against the Dallas Mavericks. They are the 4th seed going against the 5th seed Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, this man had 39, 7-7, 16-29. Outside of Kawhi Leonard, he looked so comfortable and said, Patrick Beverly, you too little. Marcus Morris, you can't guard me. And Zubac, don't switch. And he did that comfortably. He didn't even do it uncomfortably. He did it so comfortable. Tim Hardaway, 28-5. I mean, 6 out of 8 3-point shooting. Kristaps Porzingis, 20 points. It was like, okay, yeah, I got 20 points. That's it. I mean, Max, is it Kleebler or Cleveler? I don't know, but this man had 13 points. He played well as well. This Dallas Mavericks team, they just came there and balled out, shooting like the Golden State Warriors. And the Clippers, outside of Kawhi and Paul George, I mean, Lord have mercy. What more can we say? Like I said, they're down 0-2. It's not looking good so far for the Clippers. I mean, I can ask you multiple questions, Loreal. What's wrong with the Clippers? Should they be worried? Is there any concern? Because Paul George said that there's no concern right now being down 0-2. Is this series over, Loreal?
No, I don't think that this series is over, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't even know. Like this time around, like last year, you know, we was flabbergasted when we saw that. So
in the bubble.
Even though we are surprised and disappointed, you know, we can't really be surprised because I'm not surprised in the fact that the Mavs are taking this 2-0 lead, especially on the road, because of Luka Doncic. And Luka Doncic, I love this kid. I love him. Absolutely
he's
love
spectacular.
him.
He's spectacular. He is
He
spectacular.
gives you a show. He lights it up. Yep. I mean, what he said to Patrick Beverly and Zubac, he ain't wrong. You can't guard me. You can't do anything against me. And right now, Luka Doncic is pretty much the Clippers' kryptonite. That's what the Clippers are dealing with right now.
Wait, hold on. What the heck is the kryptonite? I mean, look, he's been playing fantastic. He literally put up one leg and just shot that ball at the 3-point line. This like, y'all can't guard me. I mean, it was like he was listening to that song Climax from Usher. I mean, he reached the highest climax because there was just nothing that you could just do with Luka. That's all. Yeah, he just reached the highest climax. I mean, it was just over. But when Kawhi was on him, listen, he only made one shot on Kawhi. Just one shot. Just want to let that be known. Yeah, exactly. Here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. I'm not going to say the series is over. They're only down 0-2. This is the interesting part about this series. The Clippers and the Mavs. Let me tell you this. Since Kawhi and Paul George came to the Clippers, guess how many wins the Clippers have beaten the Dallas Mavericks in Staples Center? And that includes the regular season and the playoffs and the bubble. How many times?
Less than 5.
Less than 5? You're right, but I'll tell you. 0.
Ooh.
0.
Wow.
0. Now,
good Lord.
Now, let me tell you the time. Now, let me tell you the times that they lost in Dallas or on the road against the Mavericks. Well, I take it back. Well, yeah, I mean, you could say it. I mean, only 3 times because the bubble was, twice, and then they lost one against Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks has obviously won when they're not in Dallas against the Clippers, but also they only won one game at home against the Clippers. Just one. So far, the way how I see this with the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers, they clearly aren't good at home because either the Clippers are taking it or the Dallas Mavericks. So, and that's what's crazy too. That's mind-boggling to me. The last time the Clippers have won a playoff game at home in Staples Center was Game 2 of the first round in 2017.
Lord.
With Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Now, of course, because you know what happened 2 years ago. When they went against the whatchamacallit Warriors 2 years ago, they didn't win them games. The last time the Dallas Mavericks won a playoff game in Dallas, that was in 2015. So one's got to give up. So we go definitely see what happens. So this is what I'm seeing. What I'm gonna say is that clearly these teams don't like playing at home and win. They like playing on the road and win. So we definitely gonna see what happens. So Game 3 and Game 4 is definitely gonna show me what these teams are about, particularly the Clippers, because it's do or die. The Clippers, it's like this. If in 2007 the Warriors were the We Believe Warriors, the Clippers went to 2021. We don't believe you, Clippers. That's basically how it looks, how it proceeds. So now the expectations has now went down to the ground. It went down to the ground where the roots are at. All right, that's where it's at. The Clippers, now they're in a situation where we have to show how mentally tough they are. Kawhi, Paul George, and if they're three things. I'm gonna give three people. Well, they might be all put together. Three people that deserve to be blamed for those two first losses. Ty Lue, what the hell are you doing? Are you doing not having Luke Kennard and DeMarcus Cousins on the floor? They haven't even played a game. They haven't played in a minute. Luke Kennard is signing an extension for 3 to 4 years, and this man haven't played any playoff minutes. What? Boogie Cousins. Don't get me started. Boogie Cousins hasn't even played 1 minute. 1 minute? Now, I understand his health and I understand his history, but 1 minute? We're talking about 1 minute. Seriously. So the blame's going to Ty Lue. He's going to have to make some adjustments, okay? Because we're going to have to see how good of a coach Ty Lue is, because everyone's saying, oh, you was good because you had LeBron James. He's going to definitely have to show these next 2 games what he's about. That's number 1. Number 2, Patrick Beverley, Zubac, and Marcus Morris. Well,
so 4 people.
Yeah, I'm putting them all together. I put it all together.
Okay.
Zubac, Patrick Beverley, Zubac and Patrick Beverley, y'all can't start. Nah, they got to switch. Nah, because y'all can't listen. Because Zubac is unreliable in this series. He is so unreliable in the series. They're gonna have to put Serge Ibaka or DeMarcus Cousins because it's not working. It ain't working, all right? It's not working. Patrick Beverley, I don't know. Either you got to put Terrence Mann and sacrifice the point guard position, or put Nicholas Batum or somebody, because Patrick Beverley does not need to be starting. There ain't no point unless he's guarding Jalen Brunson. That's it. But if he's going to Luka Doncic, it's like, no, just stop. Just stop. Okay. And Marcus Morris, you had Luka Doncic dunk over you and then flex on you after he dunked over you. What the heck? Oh my God. And then number 1, I'm going to have to blame Kawhi Leonard. And here's the reason why. He played very well offensively. I'm not down there. Paul George, I ain't getting Paul George no blame whatsoever. He doing his part. He doing what he got to do. Especially Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. 41 and 28. 69 points. How you lose that? But the reason why I'm giving Kawhi Leonard the number 1 blame is because Kawhi, you know that Luka Doncic is balling. He's averaging 35 points in this series. He's telling folks, that guy's too little. You can't guard me. Don't switch. Y'all can't mess with me. He's out there talking. Oh, Lord have mercy. Do you understand what you do to folks if they talking after they make shots?
You shut them up.
Exactly. Kawhi Leonard, You gotta guard this man for 48 minutes. Forget all this switching, picks and whatnot. No, I got this guy. F all this. I'm the guy right here who's gonna shake him down because I was the best guy who actually contained Luka. That was terrible. I mean, and if that's and other than that, and if you're gonna double team him right away. Because once he passed half court and he's out here chilling, he's shooting the ball at the top of the key. He already knows where his shooters are at, and they shooting like Golden State Warriors. And I'm thinking to myself, they 18th in three-point shooting. There's no way they actually do this on a regular basis. And that's what the Clippers got to do. Their defense has to improve. And Ty Lue, you on the clock, man. Because if they lose this series, oh, Lord have mercy. It could be all bad. You know, and I know, Loreal, it's going to be all bad. They're going to talk about Kawhi. Oh, is Kawhi going to be leaving? Oh, Miami and Golden State going to be calling. I mean, it's going to be bad. Should Paul George even stay? This is going to work. Oh, my goodness. And also, they need to give Rondo more minutes. What the hell are they doing letting Rajon Rondo playing 19 minutes? Stop that. No. Whew.
This is what I mean when I've said in the very beginning that I still don't trust the Clippers, and I still don't trust the Clippers. Now, of course, Paul George, kudos to you. You're doing your job. You're not pandemic P no more. Kudos to you. But everybody else, y'all got a lot to work to do. Why is Rajon Rondo only playing 17 minutes? He needs to be playing more minutes because you brought Rajon Rondo to this Clippers team for a reason. Right. Offensively, of course, but defensively. So when you have, defensive specialists like Paul George, Kawhi, and Rondo all on the same court, Luka wouldn't be doing what he'd be doing. If anything, Luka wouldn't be talking how he's talking. Most definitely, if that was the case. So that's number one. And number two, I absolutely agree with you. And this is what I was talking about with Kawhi. You got to step up to this moment. We know who you are as a defensive player.
Not part-time.
Not part-time either. You have to be there full and center against this Mavericks team, specifically against Luka Doncic. This is your chance. Just like you'll lock up LeBron or lock up anybody else, you got to lock up Luka.
Giannis 2 years ago?
Giannis too. You got to lock up Luka. So Tyronn Lue, he gonna have to go back to the drawing board and rethink about how he's doing these lineups and stuff because it doesn't make sense. Like Luke Kennard could be making a lot of threes, but he's not starting. And then I definitely agree with you. Switch Zubac with Cousins. I think Cousins and Ibaka will be much better defensively, especially against this Mavericks team. So this series is not over. The Mavs, even though they're 2-0, again, like you just mentioned, they can't afford to, have the series tied because they can't play at home.
Right.
And with the Clippers, it just comes down to this. You have to win. It's just no excuse.
Right.
It's no excuse. It is absolutely no reason that we should be doubting you in the first round. Now, if it was the second round and you went against, obviously, a much better, not to say that the Mavericks aren't better, but we know that the Clippers are better in terms of overall their whole compass of the team.
Right.
But you're not playing like it, though.
Yeah.
So,
terrible.
Clippers, you got to win game 3. If they do not win game 3, it's over. It's absolutely over.
Listen, I was saying that I'll man up what I said. And I was if the Clippers lose, if they lose game 3 or game 4, the series is over. I would be the first one to say that it will be over. It will be straight up over. They gotta win game 3 and 4. Plain and simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Listen, only 4 teams who has lost their first 2 games at home came back and won the series. Only 2. Only 4 who came back who lost their first 2 games at home and came back and win. Okay. Lakers in 1969. Okay, 1969. They beat the Warriors. They also eventually lost to the Boston Celtics. By the way, shout out to the Celtics in 1969. Bill Russell. Great times. The great Bill Russell. By the way, the great Bill Russell. Okay. 2, you have the Oh my God, I'm lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the 94 Houston Rockets when they went from unclutch city to clutch city with Hakeem Olajuwon against the Suns. Then you had the '05 Dallas Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry, and they did it against the Houston Rockets. Everybody was all like, "Oh, I don't know, we could trust this team with Dirk," and then they came back, and then, oh man, and then the 2017 Boston Celtics, with Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, Al Horford. I mean, and they all have a sense of common ground, like, oh, we don't believe you, or like, oh, this is why you guys are fake. You're not who y'all say you are, per se. The Clippers got to show something. They got to showcase that this is it. This is what this is. This they got to show that this is Clamp City. They like, oh my goodness. Like, it's weird to me that they are a top 10 defensive team, but they're bad at guarding the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. So by all means, they got to get it done. Plain and simple. Because like I said, if they don't win game 3 or game 4, then the series is over. And those talks, those narratives about this series, about Kawhi and the Clippers, oh, it will be discussed, and it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we'll probably talk about that, and we'll see what happens by next week. So we're gonna see what happens. Game 3 is on Friday, and game 4 is on Sunday. So we'll see what happens, and then game 5 is on